Okay, this is classwork video 2-3 showing you how to solve one of these special elimination systems. Write all this work and the 5 words to show me that you listen. But here we go. I want you to start thinking about your recognition. Which variable would be better to get rid of? Looking at this 3 and 5, I would be forced to times this by like -3 and times this by 5, and that's just a mess. If I look at these y's though, it looks like if I just multiply this bottom row by -2, that's gonna make this -6y. That's what I'm looking for. So work on your recognition. What would be the easier variable to isolate? Which would be easier to get rid of? Over here, the 3 and y, don't want to be getting rid of those. Looking at these x's, again, looks like if I times this bottom row by -2, it will make that -4x, which will cancel. That's what I'm looking for. So again, work on your recognition. What are you going to get rid of? First word is pelican. Thanks for listening, pelican. All right, so for this one, I'm going to leave the x's alone, but get rid of the y's. So I'm going to take that bottom row and times the whole bottom row by -2. Can't forget to times everything by -2. And what I'd like you to do is take the time to rewrite it. Don't write all this stuff right here. It's just going to be a mess. Rewrite both. So here's the first one, untouched. If I could do that in black, 5x plus 6y equals 19.5. The bottom one after that adjustment, -6x minus 6y. And then way down there, -2 times 10.5 gives me -21. And then now I'm ready to combine them. The x's are going to give me -1 of those x's, so know your negative rules. These y's here cancel away, no more y's. And then again, knowing your negative rules, +19, -21, know how to do that. That's going to give me +1.5. I'm sorry, negative, oh God, be careful. Yep, -1.5. And then right there, opposite of timesing by -1, dividing by -1. Divide by -1. That will make that cancel away. And then that just gives me +1.5. Remember, that's only half of your variable. Next word is surf. You need to find both variables. You need to make sure you put that number in the right spot. That goes right here where x is. Now I'm looking for the second part of that coordinate, which is the y coordinate. You got to always show me the work where you plug that in. And where am I plugging this x in? I could plug that x in to the adjusted ones if I wanted to. I could take that same x and plug it in up here in one of these originals. Whatever one I choose, doesn't matter, as long as you're plugging in for x and solving for y. All of these equations are equivalent. So here we go. 5, I'm going to use that one. Plugging in for x, that 1.5 right there. Still got that plus 6y. Still have that equal 19.5. Nothing else changes, just where x used to be, I'm plugging in 1.5. Using my calculator, 5 times 1.5 gives me 7.5 plus 6y, 19.5. Then right there, two-step equation. I'm going to subtract this 7.5 away, and then I'm going to divide by 6. So subtracting 7.5 away, this gives me 6y equals, and on my calculator, 19.5 minus 7.5 gives me 12. And then right there, dividing by 6 gives me y is 2. And again, the theme today, most of these answers are going to be positive, negative, both positive and pretty low numbers like 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. So again, just to check your work to see that you're on the right pace. So there we go. That one is 1.5 for x and 2 for y. If you wanted to check, you could plug those in. I guarantee you plugging in x and 2 for y, it's going to give you both those numbers up there. All right, here we go. Next one. This one, I'm not going to isolate and get rid of the y's. This one, I'm going to times and get rid of the x's instead, just to show you that it doesn't matter which variable you get rid of as long as you eliminate one of them. So here you go. My little adjustment, timesing that whole bottom row by -2. Rewriting it, taking the time to rewrite it. In my experience, those who don't rewrite it, they get caught up in the mess of this madness. So make sure you rewrite both. There's the first one. Here's the second one. After that triple distribute, gives me -10y, and then -2 times 16. Use my calculator, never trust my arithmetic. Gives me -32. Then right there, when I combine, next word is curl. Thanks for listening, curl. All right, this one has the x's eliminate, not the y's, has the x's. And then right there, -7y. Know your negative rules. Right here, -32 plus that 18 is going to give me a big -14. And then right there, dividing by -7, it's going to give me the y number. Y is +2. Know where to put that value. Know that the answer is not always going to be 2 for y, just for these two examples. And then plugging that 2 in any of my y spots and do the math and solve for x. I could plug it into the originals if I want. I could take that and plug it into the adjusted one, even though that looks kind of messy. I wouldn't use that one. So I'm going to use the 2x, 5x1, this one. So here we go. That 2x that I'm solving for x, got my 5. Right here is where I put that y number. Everything else stays the same. Gives me 2x plus 10 equals 16. And then a simple two-step equation. Get rid of that 10 and then divide by 2. That gives me 2x equals 6. Divide by 2 gives me the x value. The x value is 3 for this one. 3 for x, 2 for y. And again, if you wanted to check, next word is wave. Wave. If you wanted to check, that would be you taking that 3 and plugging it in for x and plugging it in the 2 for y. And then when you're checking a system, you can't just plug it into the first one and see if those numbers give you 18. You would have to plug it into both. To prove a point works in the system, you have to plug that into both equations to show that 3 for x and 2 for y works for both. Guaranteed that top one, plug in 3 for x, 2 for y will give you 18. That bottom one, plug in 3 for x, 2 for y would give you 16. All right. Know that the last word is spray. Talk to you in a bit. Good luck.